Hey guys, let's have a look at the movie review of the 2026 Oscar nominated film Marty Supreme. Marty Supreme stars Timothée Chalamet in the titular role of Marty Mauser, who is ever ready to go to all extremes to fulfill his ambitions of being an acclaimed table tennis player. The film also stars Gwyneth Paltrow as Kay Stoll, a wealthy and a retired actress who chooses to relive her glory days by stepping onto the more vibrant and the artistic arena stage. Now, the film opens up with Marty engaged in a more mundane job as a lowly shoe salesman, as he only adheres to these duties to fund his ambition of going abroad in order to take part in a table tennis tournament, during the course of which he flaunts and flamboyants in one of the points of a match of the same tournament, but very quite fittingly, and eventually falls short of the finish line of an otherwise quite successful venture. Now, the film that is set in the 1950s is loosely based on American table tennis player Marty Reisman. The film happens to be directed by Josh Safdie, who co-wrote it with Ronald Bronston, wherein Safdie and co-writer Bronston began developing the film in 2018 after Safdie was gifted a copy of Marty Reisman's 1974 memoir, The Money Player, The Confessions of America's Greatest Table Tennis Champion and Hustler. Now, I would like to say that the film here quite satisfactorily brings out the obsessive stubbornness of a reckless and a rebellious young man who, in his highly yearning yet egoistic pursuit of wanting to race towards a tall peak, thrashes and throws away all obligations towards each and everyone that crosses his path when he just wants to walk towards a self-centered and a selfish lane of immense glory and acclaim. Now, talking about the film's dialogues, I feel that they have been compellingly compiled and commendably crafted here, wherein those strong and spectacular verbal exchanges perfectly portray the innate intricacies of each of the film's character, particularly that of Chalamet, whose breathtaking one-liners of "I am Hitler's worst nightmare" and his flashy yet determined declaration, which he states as "that does not even enter my consciousness," a response he gives on being probed by the film's secondary character on what if his so-called highly prized dream does not see the blessed beams of the daylight, wherein these powerful notes of communicative deliveries makes the entire show worth the value of the movie ticket. Talking about the film's screenplay, I feel that I was quite let down here by the way the story was sketched on screen here, with the kind of subject matter it had in hand, when some of the projects like Pawn Sacrifice that came out in 2015, when for me that film quite memorably drew out the rebellious and an emotionally difficult aura of the film's lead. Marty Supreme, on the other hand, here falls short of completely drawing us into the emotionally difficult aura of the central character here, when it never really manages to create that immersive balance of his destructive demeanor along with his exemplary ingeniousness on table. Now, the film that is a fictionalized interpretation of the life of Marty Reisman is not a strict biopic in its fundamental roots and structure, and hence is a work of a more creative liberty than factual truths, when the film here pays a homage tribute to the athletic figure that I just mentioned, when with the approach of an artistic freedom as well, the film fails to make that long-lasting impact that it so tries hard to leave here, with the film's overall enjoyable, yet somewhere an unsatisfactory experience. Talking about the film's music here, I would say that it is one of the quite applaud-worthy elements of the film's various but equally significant pillars, when it quite fabulously and splendidly blends out the despising stance of the protagonist's personality, where it beautifully matches it up with those sublime scores of tension and triumph, while majestically mixing the superbly stylized musical tone with the prevalent mood of the protagonist's equal share of disappointments as well in the film's 150 minutes of watch time. Talking about the film's direction here, that is accredited to the name of Josh Safdie, I would say that the project's chief curator here does a decent job of bringing to forefront a highly desired ambition of the central character here to stand out of the normal and to be renowned for its athletic abilities. But for me personally, the film nowhere comes close to carving and etching itself out in the eternal and evergreen list of withholding a landmark legacy. Talking about the spectacular show stealer and the entire showstopper of the film here, when Timothée Chalamet owns every frame and sets the screen ablaze with his dominating screen presence as he jaw-droppingly and distinctly breathes soul into his unapologetically errorful character, as he swaggily and sublimely brings to forthright his immense self-belief along with a sense of deep-rooted vulnerability, when he is also quite powerfully backed by the film's supporting cast. I'm going with 3.5 out of 5 for Marty Supreme. If the protagonist chose an unusual stream as he coursed ahead to fulfill a deep-rooted dream where no amount of ridicule could ever stop him in wearing the attire of his self-believing beam, for he never backed away from the past as the hope in his eyes would always gleam. Supreme was what he visualized in every routine. Hey guys, if you like my video, you can click on the like and share button, and you can also subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss up on these types of videos. Let's come together and celebrate the magic of movies.